I'm Adam, welcome along to the show. We're talking to Jim Radcliffe, INEOS, taking Uefa to court, cast Court of Arbitration for Sports in the case of Jean-Clair Todibo. What does that tell us in terms of what Manchester United are looking for this transfer window? We can look at the legal side and what's actually happening there, but what does that mean for their targets and what United are doing? Does that automatically mean, with them going all in on this and trying to get Todibo, that we are going for two centre-backs? Because we already know about Braithwaite. Now Todibo added to it, and what Sir Jim has said before and what's happening in this case, very much so I feel. Contract situations alongside Scott McTominay and Harry Maguire. Ugarte, again, an update on that, what Fabrizio Romano has been saying, and on top of what we were reporting last night also as well, what's actually come out from the club on this side of things with Ugarte as well. Please give the video a like and subscribe to Forever United TV. Get involved in the chat. We've got Josh on comms today. Josh, say hello.
Hi guys, get your comments in.
There you go, straight to the point. Hopefully you're all doing fantastic. We are outside. I'm glad to be outside, away from that boiling hot studio. Still baking hot here though. The sun is shining, the painters are up on Old Trafford, the staff are here in force because of Sir Jim. Work from home no longer. And yeah, basically all around Old Trafford today, just to give you a bit of an update, is full on clean up. Like, they are sprucing the place up a little bit. We know about the investment at Carrington. It does look like visible change around Old Trafford and in around United since INEOS have taken charge, just from what's happening on the ground. So you're updated with that, sorry, into what's actually going on. So Todibo situation, we found out Sir Jim Radcliffe wasn't happy. He has got a player that wants to come to Manchester United. We know that that player is Jean-Clair Todibo. We know that UEFA have said that not two teams playing in the same competition, owned by the same people, can buy and sell from each other. That was a rule. Well, we can, but they cannot then play in that UEFA competition. So many questions have been asked, where are we at? Can he just be cup-tied and play him in the league and things like that? But it now looks like INEOS and United are taking it one step further. Now, we've seen City go to CAS before and get their charges quashed and thrown out in terms of being banned from European competitions. I think we'll get the same again. There's no guarantee that this is going to be given in Manchester United's favour just because we are going to CAS and just because we are reporting everything that's going on with the situation with Jean-Clair Todibo and things like that. There's no guarantee it's going to go work in our favour, but I always say is usually when situations like this come about, it usually always ends up going in favour of the people that are appealing. So we'll see what happens from it, and we'll take it from there. But the question I want to ask you guys is, do you feel like this is then proof that Manchester United are getting two centre-backs? Because we know there's a bid for Braithwaite. We're taking UEFA to court for Todibo. So that's definitely two centre-backs as far as I see it. And no sort of make-weights, or is this lies from the media again? And there is no bid for Braithwaite. And we are going all in on Todibo because this is our other option. And our only other option, it would seem. Short-sighted a little bit, I know, but which way do you see it? Get your comments in the chats as well, people. Let me know what you think. Is it looking like we're running short on Todibo patience and we're going all in on this Todibo? Braithwaite patience and then going all in on Todibo, or vice versa? Not vice versa, but buying two defenders and not just settling for one. Hopefully it's the two, because I think we need two as well. And that will then force people like Linderlof or Maguire, or decisions on them players to actually be made. So I think it's important that we get at least one defender in, but I'm all on board if this is a case that it's now pushing towards two defenders. So let's see what happens with this. I want to get your comments in straight away though. Josh, who have we got in there, anyone?
We've got a gifted membership from Tom Porter,
Tom,
and that's gone to Christina.
Thank you, mate. Welcome to Members Club, Christina.
Not too much going on at the minute in the comments. We've got a comment about Southgate from Jonathan saying, I predict Southgate will go into punditry after the Euros. No team would hire him as manager/coach.
No, honestly, the less said about England, the better. Honestly, I've forgotten about last night and don't even want to talk about last night. It's been that poor, the Euros so far. The V8 just flying past there. I can tell just by the sound of that bad boy. Yeah, it's, for me, the depressing side of international football makes you focus more on club football and makes you want the season to start even sooner. It's diabolically shit, isn't it? It really is. And last night was an absolute drag on the pitch. But yeah, hopefully the knockouts will bring more. Maybe we'll see Kobbie Mainoo, and Southgate might see sense after watching what happened last night, and Kobbie Mainoo did make a difference for United. So yeah, in terms of that comment, totally off subject, but I thought I'd just answer it because it is still sort of grinding on my gears a little bit, the fact that England are just boring as hell. Anything else in there, Josh?
Where's it gone now? We've got one from Stu. Todibo really isn't worth all the hassle there. Are better options out there?
Better options. If it's Todibo and another though, does that convince you that we're actually moving in the right direction? Is that the right move for United? It's a question for everybody, really. I mean, I understand the fact that Todibo isn't like... You don't know, do you? We don't actually know. We've talked about Todibo, not in loads of detail, but it always seemed like the easy option, and has that convinced us that he's not actually the best option? Because we know that Sir Jim Ratcliffe owns Nice, and the contacts there and bringing a player in from there must be easier. Is this why UEFA are coming down on it? Because it is so easy and it's like a cheat code. And is this why Manchester United are saying, well, there's no rule there, everything's being made up as we go along, we're going to take you to the court for arbitration and sport and get Todibo through either way? Go on, Josh, mate.
We have got a question from Craig saying, how many signings do you realistically think we're going to get? Can't really help being pessimistic.
Realistically, I said 3. I would hope for 5. I think we need 5. We do need strengthening in defence. 2 centre-backs, a centre midfielder, a forward. I think we need the full-back either side, judging on whether Aaron Wan-Bissaka going or that situation there, whether they want to go into left-back. You could go into the winger situation. I thought that extra signing might have been Elise, but obviously that has gone. He's not willing to wait around and is committed now to company at Bayern Munich, so that ship has sailed as well. So I think to strengthen where you really need strengthening, and the names that we're hearing in the transfer market are the ones of positions that we all know that Manchester United need. We need the centre-backs, we need the holding midfielder, we need a striker. I mean, we've got Ugarte, we've got Neves, we've got Todibo, we've got Branthwaite, we've got other defenders that we're being linked with. Obviously, we've got Xerxes, Jonathan David, who scored against, I think it was Peru last night. Another goal for him, for Canada in the Copa America. He's got 1 year left. Could he come and do you know what? After these international tournaments are finished next month, I think it's just going to open up into crazy time, and there's going to be bids flying here, there, and everywhere. And it's going to be, you know what? The first one that's made all of their negotiations and done all of their groundwork and put everything in place, ready to make bids. I think they're the ones that are going to be the ones that are getting the players in, because it is going to be one mad rush. And this is one thing that PSR and Financial Fair Play has put in. There is a definite timeline on when clubs are actually going to spend money. June 30th. After that date is gone, everyone's going to be in the same boat. So, like I've said before, I think I said it on a couple of previous shows, that United making all these negotiations, apparent bids, it's all in preparation for next month. Go on, Josh, buddy.
We've got a super chat from Mark, £5 super chat.
Cheers, Mark.
It says, buying 2 centre-backs that want to start close to 100 million doesn't sound right when we have Martinez, unless we go to a back 3 or he plays left-back. What are your thoughts?
People can play left-back as well. A couple of defenders that we've been looking at have been very versatile defenders as well. Yoro was, but we know that he's not coming now. Branthwaite's both-footed. And to be honest, if we've got 2 centre-backs, I've said this before about the striker, I'm not for buying defenders that you know actually are going to sit on the sideline. I want defenders to come in who are going to fight for the first team. I want defenders to come in who are actually going to challenge people that are already there and not care who is there. I'm not looking for these guys to make friends. I'm looking for them to make the best team. So, yeah, I want 2 centre-backs coming in that want to fight. We can't even say that, really, can we? Because Maguire wants to play every single game. Johnny Evans would if you give him the chance. And young players coming through want to play every game as well. So everyone coming in, I want them to want to play and feel like they should be playing every single game. It's a problem that United have had in the past, and we've had the right management and the right structure to handle that situation. We can get back to them days. They're problems that I want to have at Manchester United, not the problems we've got now when we're talking about players that are actually not good enough to be at the football club or have been there too long because they're okay in actually sitting on the sidelines and earning a wage. So, no, it's like, I know what Mark's saying with that. Versatile, they can play left and right. It may cause problems down the line. I'd rather them problems than the ones we've got now, though, to be honest. Go on, Josh, mate, you got one more there?
Yeah, we do have a sort of a response to that as well, saying we do need to buy multiple options at centre-back to play high line. Buying one suitable centre-back is silly.
True. We do need options. We need to be flexible. And we've always said, you need to be adaptable in the Premier League. You need to always have a plan B. And with defenders. And I keep saying it's like these people coming into Manchester United, like people demanding game time. It's like, know where you are. We've allowed these players to dictate how Manchester United is run. We need to stop it now. If you're coming to United, expect to not play every single game. It's the way that all the big clubs are. Liverpool do it, City do it, Real Madrid do it. Players get dropped out when other players need a rest and when they're not playing well. There's no room for mediocrity. You're not going to get given a chance. This is what the mentality should be. Ten Hag saying that we're going to keep playing Marcus Rashford until he gets it right is why Manchester United finished 8th in the league last season. No one else was given a chance. And that's what he has to change. That's what has to change at United. The standards need to go up. We need to start acting like we did before and getting players through the door and saying, look, you know where you are right now. You're going to have to perform to stay in this team. If you don't, there's someone even better, or not so much better, but even more willing to take your place. And that keeps it going. I just think there's been too many players at Manchester United that have just been happy just to sit there. There's been too many players that actually know that we are... that they're going to actually play no matter how poorly they are in the game before. Go on, Josh.
We've got a gifted membership from London.
Cheers, London, buddy.
And that's gone to Malps.
Malps, good man.
And then we've got another super chat from Mark saying, sorry, the point I was making was that we need others first, other than to focus on the 2 centre-backs, I'm guessing.
Others first as in?
Other positions, potentially.
I don't know, centre-backs we definitely need in first, I think. Centre-back and midfield, 100%. As long as Rasmus Højlund stays fit. But honestly, I feel like there's a case for each position for being priority right now, and someone will build a case for each one as well and make an argument for either. But the squad depth is there, the squad depth quality is not there, and that's the problem United have got. It's getting that squad depth down and getting it down at an affordable price, i.e. affordable price that meets someone who wants to pay that fee and then bring that money back into United and actually reinvest it. That's the tricky situation INEOS have to turn around, because there's a lot of players at United that aren't worth a lot, that are on too much money, that other clubs don't want, so are going to bid us in the bollocks for. That's the problem we've got, and that's what I think the patience side of thing is about United. It's like we were talking about Scott McTominay and Harry Maguire. I think Samuel Luckhurst from the MEN has said today that if no one has bought or paid, or if they're not sold such McTominay and Maguire before the 1st of September, that automatically triggers their 1-year extension on their contracts. They're the contracts and situations that United need to be moving away from. This is why the conversation about Bruno Fernandes possibly being sold now, when he's at his highest value, has come about because INEOS are in charge. This would never have happened. He probably would have had a new contract now, Bruno Fernandes, if it was Arnold and Murtough still in charge of the football club. But no, it's changed, and there's been a clear change in how Manchester United are approaching their contracts and the players at in the club at the moment. So, yeah, that's the problem. The squad depth, shit. Squad depth quality is what needs to replace it. And, yeah, it's going to take time. We know it. Like, them two situations right there, McTominay in a position that we're talking about in midfield to bring someone in, and Harry Maguire, we're looking to replace them two essentially with players to come in instead of Mainu, instead of Bruno, instead of Mount, instead of Casemiro and Amrabat. We're looking for better players than what McTominay and Maguire are. And if they're willing to fight for their place in the side, maybe the players that are in the first team right now are the ones that end up sitting on the bench. It's what push is needed, and it's what these players need at Manchester United, I feel. So, yeah, awkward, tough for INEOS, but no excuses. Like, we know the job in hand and we know what they have to do. And McTominay, Maguire, Amrabat, these situations that we've been talking about now, leading up to the end of this month, when all these contracts hit that renewal stage or hit that last year stage, it's all going to come to the fore. And there's a lot of business that needs doing at Manchester United. There really is. Anyone on that, Josh?
Yeah, we've got a comment from United Till I Die saying we 100% need a striker. We can't go another season with just one proper striker.
No, I think we will. But even if we haven't got a striker for the start of the season, United will end up buying one before this window shuts. I'm pretty confident about that. And obviously, in another couple of weeks, when the Euros is all completely finished, I think we're going to start seeing movement. We'll get a verdict on Xerxes. If that doesn't happen, then we'll go elsewhere. But yeah, like the midfields, like I just said, there's a case for every single position down the spine of this side for what Manchester United need. Some will say drastically midfield, because it doesn't look like Amrabat is going to be staying at the football club, which is why the news came out yesterday about Ugarte. Now, Fabrizio Romano has come out and said, and the football club have come out and said, there's definitely been no bid, 100% not been a second bid. It's just been Manchester United, according to Romano and the club, that have approached PSG about Ugarte. Now, there's been different opinions on the quality of Ugarte and what he's good at, what he's not good at. I made the case yesterday for both sides. He does have some good numbers, like he does make more tackles than anyone else in Ligue 1 in the time that he's played. My issue was, like, I really wanted to see him against the best of the best, which was the Dortmunds, which was the Barcelonas, leading up to the back end of the Champions League. But I think he played, I don't think he started any of the last 7 Champions League games, including the quarters and the semi-finals. So why are PSG and Enrique leaving him out, the player that they bought specifically to do that role in the summer from Sporting? There's a reason why he's not playing in the big games. That's what the uncertainty is for me with him. But he is a good player. He is all right. If United can get him on loan, like we said yesterday, I think that's a good deal to go for, because United have to be clever. Like, if we get into the Champions League with Ugarte on loan, we've got more money to spend next season, after next summer. So it makes sense if we can squeeze a loan out of PSG, all in to get Ugarte through. But if we're looking to spend money, we're not going to get him for anywhere near what we want him for. Like, they spent 50 odd million on bringing him in from Sporting. They're going to want more than that if it's a permanent sale, because he's got 4 years left in his contract. He's on 100 grand a week, and you're trying to convince this lad who doesn't want to leave by all accounts, just wants to play. He doesn't want to be out of the Champions League. Same old problem again. United trying to convince players to actually come to the football club. But yeah, Ugarte, he's another player that's going to divide opinion a little bit, but I feel like loan, it's a safe one. It's very, very safe, and United, I think, would be making a good deal if they made that happen. Any more comments there, Josh?
Yeah, the comments have just jumped onto the fact that I think they've realised that I'm holding the camera. Josh will have arms like a rock after this video. Like the video for Josh's arms holding the camera up.
There you go. Yeah, we actually forgot the piece that adapts the tripod to the actual stanchion. So Josh is toughing it out on this one today.
Gray's put, Josh is a cyborg, his arms won't grow, he feels no pain.
He did an 100-mile bike ride the other day, so his arms are still stuck in that position. So it actually works quite well.
I'm resting the camera on my belly as we speak.
But yeah, in terms of Todibo and what's happening there, that's going to be an interesting one. But for me, it shows that one of two things is happening. Manchester United are going for 2 centre-backs, or Branthwaite isn't happening, and we're all in on Todibo. One or the other. I would prefer the first in having 2 centre-backs. Whether you guys like Todibo and Branthwaite or would take someone else, that's a different story altogether and a different debate and conversation. But still, you've got to look at two centre-backs is definitely going to be better. I feel like that would then force out Linderlof and possibly Maguire as well, and where United could actually recoup some of the money for these deals that we're actually trying to get done. So yeah, it's gone a bit quiet on other players at the moment as well. Like Sancho is definitely gone quiet. We heard the crazy news that he's been offered to Barcelona. I just cannot see that happening. I think the crazy and the way that the club has been run for a while has been a bit stupid, but they're not that stupid to take Sancho on them wages. And yeah, Greenwood, we know the situation with. But again, we're all building up to the 1st of July, I think, and that contract running out for most players, and then big decisions actually coming out. But I do think that United have positioned themselves well. And honestly, it could come back to bite me on the arse. I know it could, but still, you've got to look at it and go, like, all of the pre-negotiations look like they're being done. When it comes to it, I think United will be ready to go on a lot of players, and hopefully they are the players that we need. No matter who comes into the club, everyone's going to be arguing and debating over who is the right player. We shouldn't have bought him, we should have bought him. They're not going to please everybody. I do like the names of pretty much everyone we're linked with at the moment. I haven't really got a problem with any of the players. But United do have to get everything moving quite quickly once July comes, because, like I said, big decisions on McTominay and Harry Maguire, like that year extension being triggered automatically. It's a tough one, and this is where United have gone wrong over the years, and where the culture of the football club drastically needs changing. And I just feel like without the intervention of INEOS right now, we would be up shit creek. Incredibly up shit creek. Like, without a paddle, like, and lost. Because you can only imagine dealing with the mess that we've got at Manchester United right now off the field, with Ten Hag in place and Murto and Arnold. Without INEOS right now, I think every United fan would be completely bricking it, absolutely bricking it for this summer ahead. But hey, look at it this way. At least we are getting ourselves in position. Players have been released, and obviously after June 30th again, the wages for Anthony Martial, Raphael Varane all come to an end. Brandon Williams all comes to an end. We've got plenty of money saved there in terms of the wage bill and how we can structure deals around that and negotiate going into July. So we'll be in a better position anyway. But yeah, I feel off the top news that we've been talking about there that Todibo definitely looks like he is, if not first target, second target behind Branthwaite. But with the money that we've got to spend, I wouldn't be surprised if Branthwaite's gone dead in the water without us realising, especially if we're going to cast for Todibo. Anyway, that's how I see it. Any more comments in there, Josh, on them?
Yeah, we've got one from Gernot saying McTominay and Maguire need to go for their own good.
For their own good. First team football for both elsewhere. There's definitely no guarantee at United for both of them players getting first team football.
A comment from Compost Smurf saying PSG need a left winger. Hopefully they fancy one of ours.
Yeah, there's one who would definitely push out the door, so who would love for big money in a Mr Marcus Rashford. That would work well for us, definitely.
Adam Skis put, also, I don't rate INEOS, and what they have done so far, it's just tinkering at the edges.
Tinkering, but if they did take the plunge, Adamski, would you be convinced then? Make these transfers, sell these players. I think that's what everyone's waiting for right now. They're sick of the talk. Like, they want to see something significant happen with INEOS, and a big player signing or something like that could be what actually triggers it. Any more on them ones, Josh?
You've got one from Andrew saying the Glazers knew what crap was heading this way. That's why they've offloaded the responsibility to INEOS.
Clever businessmen who know that they can't run or get any more money out of Manchester United, so get someone who is willing to put their own money in, giving them money at the same time, and make more money for them because they're running it how the football club should have been run the last 10 years. To round that up nicely, that's pretty much what Glazers are doing. Brilliant businessmen. Like, take everything you possibly can out of a business, and then instead of selling it, get a big chunk of money back that wasn't yours because you invested nothing, and get someone better to run it to make you more money. It's great, isn't it, when you know what you're doing in business? And the Glazers are top of the tree when it comes to knowing how to rinse every single penny out of something. But I'd still feel like we need to sort of put that aside and try and concentrate on what INEOS can do for United, because otherwise we'd be climbing the bleeding walls in thinking of what we can actually get from Manchester United and what hope we've got left to cling on to. So yeah, I'm liking the noises, but I'm not a million miles away from myself from going, okay, INEOS, let's look at this realistically now. We need some action more than anything. What's next? That's where we're at with it, I feel. I mean, there's a lot of fans like clinging on to hope that INEOS are doing right, and yeah, it takes time and we need patience, but we are going to need something else to cling on to very soon, and that will come, I think, next month with a player coming in, please. Something good. That would be nice. Any more comments in there, Josh, lad?
Yeah, we've got a couple. We've got one from Jonathan. Adam, your thoughts on what position Mount will play next season?
He's only one position he can play, and that's 10 for Bruno, so he's going to be on the bench.
One from Prashant saying Sky Sports. Sky's reporting that Man United could be in for Calvert-Lewin. Please, we don't need another Martial.
God, I remember that headline coming out. I seen an headline, I shouted it out to Kaz, and Kaz went. She burst out laughing. And Kaz knows a lot of football, but she's honest with what she knows, and she says, like, I don't know too much. Definitely not the amount that I know. But I said to her, look at that headline there, Calvert-Lewin. United apparently interested in Calvert-Lewin. Everton value him at 40 million. And she burst out laughing. I went, yeah, exactly. Stupid season is here. Silly season is here. Calvert-Lewin for 40 million? Jesus Christ, you'd have to pay me 5 million to take that man. He was a good player. But the injury record on that man is something that United do not need to add to the roster. and we'll be going nowhere near. I am fully convinced of it. But make sure you're giving the video a like, guys, as well. Where's our like count at, Josh?
We're at 91 at the minute. We've got 361 watching, so we can definitely hit 100.
Yeah, come on, guys, get the likes in, please. Let's get over 100, please, everybody. Any more questions in there, Josh, and anything that's going on? Now's your chance, guys.
We did have a response back from Adam Ski about what you said before, and he put absolutely. So he was saying, before
if
that
they did
take the plunge, yeah, he agrees with that, and that's what we need, because every year we get talk and we need action.
Yes, that's a definite. It is what Manchester United are in summers, unfortunately, and everyone's just hoping that it's going to be that little bit different under INEOS. But yeah, Euros got in the way. I think everyone knows that. But like after the Euros, I think everyone realises now, right? Okay, talk is up. It's time. Go for it, Josh, lad.
Yeah, we've got a comment from Mr Dacia Sandero saying, "Who would you be happy with ideally? Ins and outs, good work out there in the heat, guys. Remember your fluids."
Yep. Actually, have I got my bottle? I think I've left my water bottle. God's sake.
Live reaction to Adam leaving his water bottle in hotel football.
Someone just reminded me then. I think I have left my water bottle. Oh, dickhead. I don't know. Yeah, you just kill me now with that. I'm like thinking I'm going to get a drink in a minute this is done. And I've got no bleeding water left. Oh, God, agony. I'll have to go straight back over there. Hopefully it's still there. But yeah, it is a workout here today. Sweating buckets as always in the sun, bringing United news. Like I said, it's better than watching England though still. I think United's summer and the way that's going has been more entertaining than watching that bleeding England side anyway under Southgate. But yeah, I just feel like now I'm getting closer. Like there does seem to be a vibe going around, like we feel like the season is coming closer. And as soon as that final whistle is blown in the Euros, honestly, that is it. Like everyone's focus changes. Everyone gets excited again. The shirts are out next week. The new shirts on open sale here at Manchester United next week, and that's when you know, like, you're in. And then United are what in the league when it all goes in alphabetical order, when everyone's on 0 points. It's the usual spot around about 13, 14 for United in the league. That's when you officially know that it's round the corner. Then you can start getting excited about it again. But yeah, in terms of the news, again, it's going to be quiet, I think, now. In terms of transfers coming in and big news happening, but I think we will get some announcements. I think the next 2 days you'll get confirmation, hopefully on Ten Hag and Ruud van Nistelrooy and their new deals, and I think we might actually get some contract updates as well from certain players. But yeah, there's so much to go through and so much for us to talk about over the next few weeks. Like there's so many players that we've only just mentioned a few in the video there, but the likes of Donny van der Beek and things like that, and obviously Hannibal and Palestra and all these other little deals that need doing. We're talking the big guns, but when you look at the amount of work that United have got to get through, like the next few weeks are going to be off the scale. I think we're going to be constantly up live streaming and breaking news every single day with United this summer. But yeah, any more before we finish up, Josh?
We've got a funny comment from Compost Smurf.
Cool one.
We already have a better goal difference going into this season. Marginal gains in it.
That's it. Level goal difference. We're already one up, aren't we? But that definitely needs to change. And that's where I do understand people actually saying, you know what, a striker is very important for Manchester United next season. Like the goal output was shocking. It really was. Like Bruno Fernandes did his bits, Rasmus Højlund, but the likes of Marcus Rashford not putting any goals in. You'd usually expect a few from the likes of Sancho, but Ahmad only just coming through. Garnacho, his second season. A lot of young players there. I mean, people probably expecting Mason Mount, like the comment said before, where do you think he's going to play? Like, honestly, getting him in the team is a challenge. You're going to have to rest Bruno Fernandes. It's pointless playing players in the wrong position just to squeeze them in. You can see exactly what that's doing with England right now. And let's not forget, Ten Hag has already slagged Gareth Southgate off. He can't really go back on that now with what he said about Southgate and his tactics and how his game plan is. But again, we've bought players poorly. The recruitment's been shocking. And there is going to have to be some cut price deals to shift players on, to bring new players in that actually do improve Manchester United and give us a better chance going forward. But yeah. Josh, before we finish up?
We've got a comment from Dill saying, exciting times for United. Happy that INEOS is not just accepting the Todibo issue. Let's give the like button some action, guys.
Yes, please. We should have passed over 100 now anyway.
Yeah, we're 116 at the minute.
Wowza, look at that. That's all it took, guys. A little bit of a prompt and you're in there. But yeah, that is pretty much everything rounded up. Not much to go off, some interesting stuff, but we'll see what the Todibo news means. Like I said at the top of the show, does that mean we're going 2 centre-backs or Branthwaite's off the table and it's all on Todibo? Interesting to see what happens from that and everything else going forward. Ugarte, let's just wait it out. Hopefully that is just a loan deal and we're not blowing a lot of our budget on one player that is the unknown a little bit still. I don't mind the loan. But guys, that's it. Make sure you get your comments in on the video below. I promise you, unlike last night, that the video won't carry on live streaming somehow with no one on it. God knows what YouTube was doing yesterday. But yeah, today it's done. Get your comments in below on everything we're talking about. Todibo and Branthwaite, or Branthwaite's off and it's just Todibo. How do you take that sort of news that we talked about today? Cheers everybody. Like, share and subscribe to Forever United TV. I'm Adam.